The night that changed everything. The evening started like any typical weekend gathering. A blend of friends, co-workers, and familiar faces brought together for a lavish dinner hosted by one of my wife's colleagues. Soft music played in the background, the lights were dim, and laughter echoed from every corner of the room. I stood near the bar, chatting casually with a friend from work, when my eyes found Emily, my wife, on the other side of the room. She looked breathtaking, wrapped in a red silk dress that glimmered under the soft lighting. But it wasn't her beauty that caught my attention. It was her behavior. She was standing far too close to a man I didn't recognize, her hand brushing his arm each time she laughed. His posture oozed confidence, and hers, well, it radiated invitation. Something twisted inside me, a mix of anger and disappointment. I'd seen this pattern before. The lingering touches, the knowing smiles, the whispers hidden beneath jokes. I told myself to breathe, to stay calm, to not make a scene. But with every passing second, I saw less of the woman who once held my hand like I was her world, and more of a stranger. When I finally walked over, she looked surprised for an instant before masking it with a bright grin. "Hey, babe," she said cheerfully, pretending nothing was off. "This is Nick. He just started at work." Nick gave me a confident smile, the kind of smile men wear when they know exactly what they're doing. "Nice to meet you," he said, extending his hand. I shook it firmly, deliberately, my grip cold. Emily giggled, resting her hand on his shoulder. "Relax," she teased. "We were just saying how a little harmless flirting keeps things fun." The people around us chuckled, thinking she was being playful. But I didn't. I just looked at her. Really looked. The smirk, the arrogance, the thrill of attention written all over her face. Something inside me shifted. I smiled calmly and said, "You're right, Emily. Being single will probably be fun, too." The laughter died instantly. Her smile froze. Her hand fell from his shoulder as the color drained from her face. "Wait, what do you mean by single?" she asked, her voice trembling. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. I turned and walked away, leaving her standing in the middle of the crowd, surrounded by people suddenly unsure where to look. Behind me, I heard her faint voice call out, "Jason, come on." It was just a joke. But it wasn't. Not to me. That night was the final crack in a marriage built on second chances she never earned. The silence at home. When we got home, the quiet between us was heavier than any argument we'd ever had. She tossed her purse onto the couch and said, "You're seriously upset about that?" I was just being friendly. I stared at her for a moment before replying softly. "Friendly is saying hello. What you did was disrespectful." Her smirk faltered. "Oh, come on. You're overreacting." I let out a low laugh and shook my head. "No, Emily. I'm finally reacting. There's a difference." I turned, went to the bedroom, and began packing a suitcase. She followed, panic creeping into her voice. "You can't be serious, Jason. You're leaving over a harmless joke." I zipped the bag shut and met her eyes. "You called flirting harmless fun," I said quietly. "Then being single will be harmless too." Her confidence shattered. "Jason, please don't do this," she whispered, tears brimming in her eyes. But I was already gone, long before I walked out that door. I had spent years forgiving her late-night texts, her suspicious girls' nights, her endless need for validation from other men. Every time, she'd brush it off with, "It's nothing serious. Don't be jealous." But jealousy was never the problem. It was betrayal dressed up as innocence. I walked past her without another word, her sobs echoing behind me as I closed the door. The slam sounded like freedom, the sound of finally choosing myself. The aftermath. In the days that followed, my phone lit up with calls and long messages. She begged for forgiveness, said she didn't mean it, promised she'd change. But I didn't reply. Every message felt like a recycled lie I'd already heard 100 times. She didn't miss me. She missed the comfort of knowing I'd always take her back. The truth was, she'd stopped respecting me long before that night. That dinner party only gave me the courage to stop pretending there was anything left to save. Weeks later, a mutual friend called. "She's a mess," he said. "Barely talks to anyone. Keeps asking if you're really gone for good." I told him the truth. I left that night, and I never looked back. Because once you've seen your partner laugh with another man the same way she used to laugh with you, you can't unsee it. It changes something deep inside you, something that never fully heals. The final goodbye. A month later, she showed up at my door. She looked exhausted, dark circles under her eyes, makeup smudged, voice shaking. "Jason, please," she whispered. "I was stupid. I took you for granted. I'll do anything to fix this. I stood silently, arms crossed. You want to fix this? I said quietly. You can't fix what you destroyed by choice. She broke down, grabbing my hand as tears streamed down her face, but I gently pulled away. Emily, I said softly, you didn't lose me at that party. You lost me every time you laughed at my trust. I closed the door, and for the first time in years, I felt peace instead of pain. Rebuilding myself. In the months that followed, I started over. New city, new job, a quiet apartment where I could finally breathe again. Sometimes I'd think back to that night. I could still see her face when I said, being single will be fun too. That silence that followed said more than any argument ever could. Now, when people ask what happened between us, I don't give details. I just smile and say, she thought flirting was harmless fun. I thought self-respect was too. And truthfully, I've never felt more alive since I chose the latter.